Accused killer Luigi Mangione is back in a Manhattan courtroom today, his first appearance since his December arraignment. He's pleaded not guilty to murder charges in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
And joining us from outside the courthouse in New York is ABC's Trevor Ault. Trevor, thank you for being with us. What can we expect for Mangione in court today?
Well, we're expecting to see him relatively quickly this afternoon, Will. We know that this could be at least or maybe a bit of a brief hearing. A lot of this is evidentiary. The judge is going to be speaking with both the prosecution and the defense, talking about the exchange of evidence in this case, trying to find out if there are any forms of disagreement or anything that needs to be further examined. The key thing that we're going to be looking for this afternoon is whether the judge sets any crucial dates moving forward, including potentially setting the date for the beginning of the trial. And we know just how much attention is on this case. We know how much attention Mangione gets every time he has appeared publicly. It's possible we will not be hearing from him specifically in this hearing. And while we will have some reporters in the courtroom, there won't be video, so it's unlikely that we will be seeing him speak, or the American public will be seeing him speak. But of course, everyone is paying very close attention to this case, both murder charges and terrorism charges here in New York, guys.
And Mangione is in New York State Supreme Court today, but he also faces federal charges. So where does that case stand?
Yes, that's a whole second area enveloping this case, Eva. And a lot of the charges that he's facing federally are similar in name to the charges that he's facing in New York State. But there are some key differences, including the fact that the terrorism charge federally could potentially yield the death penalty. Now, he has not been formally indicted on those federal charges. He's due to appear in federal court next month in mid-March. He's pleaded not guilty here in New York State court. He has not yet been able to address those federal charges, although his defense team has been very adamant about his not guilty plea. But hanging over all of this, of course, is that potential death sentence should he be convicted federally. And we know the most recent addition to his legal defense team is an attorney that specializes in capital punishment cases and defending people who are facing that potential death penalty.
Are we getting any kind of clues at this point as to what kind of defense his legal team is planning?
Somewhat, Eva. I think what we know for sure right now is how much importance they're going to be putting on the process of jury selection, and a lot of that will be impacted by how they are able to control the messaging, and that includes the website and putting these statements out. We know very early on, after we saw Mangione arrived in New York, he had that now infamous perp walk where he was surrounded by members of the NYPD and the mayor. His attorneys in court were very upset at the fact that they felt he could not receive a fair trial because he was already being demonized or by being shown as this threat, surrounded by all of these members of law enforcement and the mayor too. I do, however, think that they are likely going to lean into all of this public sympathy that Luigi Mangione has been receiving, because that makes it more likely to get people on the jury who may be sympathetic to his alleged cause. Although, to be clear, at no point have they admitted that Luigi Mangione pulled the trigger, killing the United Healthcare CEO. They have not said anything like that. They've not indicated that they might plead insanity or anything like that. They are steadfast that they're going to be pleading not guilty, but certainly for their own defense, it is beneficial for as many people as possible across the country and across the world to hold sympathetic views toward Luigi Mangione, which is relatively unusual when you're talking about a murder case. Guys?
It is all a fascinating spectacle. Trevor Ault, thank you for joining us on a frigid New York day. We appreciate you very much.